So if you've got a product on Amazon that is currently selling like this, and it should be selling more like this, then you are in the right place. Because in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a shitload more money selling exactly what you're already selling. You're going to learn 7 ways to increase the conversion rate on your Amazon store to get more sales. And one of these ways is something that almost every Amazon seller neglects, and only the best sellers are actually nailing all of them. But first, let me just show you how easy it is to make an extra $6,000 a month. Right, so just to make sure that we're on the same page, what the hell's a conversion rate on an Amazon store? Well, it's basically where the percentage of people who actually see your product go on and buy something. And to work it out, you take your total number of sales and then you divide that by the total number of people who visit your Amazon product page. Or if you don't have your calculator handy, you can just nip into the report section in your Amazon Seller Central account and you'll see it in the table. So if you've had 10,000 visitors on your Amazon listing and you've got a 3% conversion rate, well, that means that 300 of those 10,000 people, they're going to end up buying something from you. And if that conversion rate jumped right up to 5%, that means that now you've got 500 people buying stuff from you. So if you're selling a product that costs $30, just a 2% increase is going to net you an extra $6,000 a month in sales. Lovely jubbly. So just imagine what a jump to 8% or 10 or 15% conversion rate would actually do to you in your business. But it's actually even better than that, because Amazon uses your conversion rate to determine how high up to rank you in its search results. So it's like a flywheel. A higher conversion rate, that leads to better organic placement, which leads to more traffic, which leads to even more sales. And of course, what's that mean? More profit. That's exactly what we're after, right? So let's run through these 7 quick tips and strategies to absolutely blow the roof off your conversion rate, starting with the one that almost all sellers overlook. Probably check the mirror before you leave the house, right? And if not, maybe you should. And if you're heading somewhere fancy or somewhere where your appearance might be a little more important, maybe a job interview, you go even further and you ask somebody else for their opinion of how you look.
How do I look?
But for some reason, most Amazon sellers neglect to do this looking in the mirror or asking other people what they think when it comes to their product listings. So this is my tip number 1, getting in-depth feedback on your listing. The way that most people get feedback is by creating their Amazon listing and then seeing what happens when people arrive online. If you're getting sales, then obviously that's good feedback. And if your sales suck, that's bad feedback. And if nobody is arriving on your listing at all, then you've got a whole other kind of problem. So obviously, what actually happens on your product listing page is pretty much what matters the most. But that is not the only way that you should be finding out what other people think to your listing. What not enough people are doing is testing out their listing with their target customers through good market research. And a really good way that you can do that is with a service like Intellivi.net, which is basically something that we've used and we recommend, because you can get feedback from your customers that will then allow you to optimize your product listings and supercharge those sales. Those guys have different service levels and payment plans depending on what you need. So I'll put a link down below and you can get yourself a cheeky little discount. And this is also something that we actually help people a lot with in our Honest FBA community, where we've got dozens of active, smart Amazon sellers all helping each other with things exactly like this. So if you want to learn more about the community and how you can get help from other fellow sellers, there's also going to be a link in the description just for that. But before you do, have a think about this. When you want to buy something, how often do you have your phone in your pocket? If you're like me, the answer is pretty much always, right?
Have you seen my phone? Have you seen my phone?
Well, it seems that a lot of people are just like me, because around half of all Amazon shoppers are actually shopping from their phones. But your Amazon store and your product listing it doesn't look the same on a phone as it does on the computer. And that brings me to my next tip, which is optimizing your Amazon listing for mobile. When you create your Amazon listing, you're going to be doing it from your desktop, where you've got lots of screen to see everything all at once. So you see your listing from the eyes of a desktop shopper, but too many Amazon sellers, they just stop there thinking they've got a sweet looking listing, and they might, but only for desktop shoppers. You've got to also make sure that your listing looks on mobile, right? And there are a few big differences on mobile that you need to understand and need to keep your eye on. First of all, there is a lot less space for text on mobile.
Duh.
So that means longer phrases get cut off earlier. And that means that you really need to be front loading your keywords in your title as well as your bullets, so that you can ensure that a shopper sees the keywords no matter what device they are looking from. Second of all, there are actually differences in the layouts of listings. On mobile, for example, you only actually get to see the first 2 or 3 bullets, so you need to make sure that those first couple of bullets really knock it out the park. Now, of course, you should always be front loading keywords and putting your best points first on desktop too, but just don't neglect to check that your key information is instantly visible on your phone. So as soon as your listing's done, get your phone out, load the listing up, and have a little look. And a third huge difference is the simple fact that all text on mobile is smaller than desktop, right? And that means that your text is even harder to read, and all these suggested competitor product images are even easier to see. And that means that you need to take advantage of every trick in the book to get even more images of your products onto your product listing page. And in another tip later on in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can add even more product images than the maximum 9 photos that Amazon allows. Very cheeky, I know. But before we do get to that, we need to make sure that the images that you already have are good enough to grab people's attention and get them buying your product. And to do that, you need to take a quiz. Right, so answer me this quickly. What catches your eyes on this page? And then this one, and then this one. That is right, you got it. Well, I hope so anyway. On Amazon, people search and then they purchase with their eyes, which means that your images need to be jumping off the page just like those ones that you saw. So let's look at tip 3, how you should be optimizing your images. You want to start with your hero image, which is the one that people are going to be seeing in the search results and immediately when they land on your product listing page. So use a professional photographer and crop out all the white space around your image so that your product takes up more space on the page. And since your hero image can only show your product and the things that come with it, make sure that you're thinking about this from the very beginning when you start developing your product and your packaging and how you want your listing to look. And the rest of your images, those need to be top notch too. They need to be professional looking photos, no $5 Fiverr Photoshop, right? Stay away from that. It will never do you any good. When you see stuff like this, it just screams, I couldn't be bothered to put the time or money into good images. And my product's probably too. So avoid. Always stay professional, guys. Just think of your listing photos like telling a story. It's like you're grabbing a shopper's hand and you're showing them step by step why they're going to be super happy buying your product instead of the next person along. Just look at how these guys do it here. You can see super clear listing, images are beautiful and crisp, and it makes me want to buy it. Probably will now, actually. So put your product's benefits and features in order of importance. So the things that they care most about, make sure that you are showing them first. Make sure that each image communicates something different as well. That is another top tip. Don't have repetitive images that show the same benefit. You want to show lifestyle or action photos of people using the product, and you want to communicate the size of it, the materials that it's made of, and anything else that the customer is going to be wondering about. Just make sure that you don't overwhelm people with too much information in a single image. Always make sure that each image in your listing, it just focuses on a maximum of 2 benefits or selling points. And you might also think about using a site like PickFu to test out your images with real people to see how they respond. Because your listing images, they are things that you don't want to leave to chance. You need to get them absolutely spot on. And you also don't want your listing images to be the last pictures that they ever see from you. And this brings us to what I hinted at just before. You need to add more big, beautiful images than just the 9 that you've got at the top. And the way to do that is, well, let me show you, right? So here, and on some other product pages, when you scroll down, right past the bullets and the recommendations for items frequently purchased together, you are going to see some of these big blocks of content that show big, colorful photos and videos and really nicely designed product comparison tables. Now this is A+ content, and in some cases it's A+ premium content, which is something that you definitely want to have on your product page because it's proven to increase conversions. And apart from helping out on mobile, like we talked about earlier, there's a lot more reasons why. So it lets you highlight product features or address certain common questions in different ways that you can't do with the rest of your listing, like with different carousels and image hotspots and comparison tables and so on and so on. And as well, since images are the biggest thing that make people buy, it's just a spot that allows you to have more high quality images, which guess what? It means more sales. It also makes your brand look more professional and trustworthy, and it lets you really stand out from other competitors in your niche. And of course, right, the more space that you can take up on your listing with A+ content, the longer that a customer has to scroll before they start seeing your competitors' listings, which means that people see more of you and less of, well, whatever you want to call them, your competitors, right? Basically, it's going to make your product listing look a lot more interesting and get you a lot more sales. Now, to get A+ content, you need to have a trademark and you need to have that registered with Amazon via brand registry. That's completely free to apply for and it's super easy to get approval. So make sure that you do that. If you want to have that A+ premium, which is where you get the Q&A sections, additional features, and so on, then you need to have at least 10 ASINs or 10 submissions on A+ listings. So you've got to have a bit of a track record rather than being a complete beginner. And apart from all the benefits there that I just mentioned, having brand registry also gives you access to other tools and analytics where you can deep dive into keyword insights and all kinds of other cool stuff. And with brand registry, you can even build out your brand store, which is where people go when they click this here at the top of your product pages. This is a great place to show your brand, and it's really good if you sell multiple products because it lets customers see all of them in one place and it makes them way more likely to purchase multiple items from you. It looks great, doesn't it? And again, this is something that really does help conversions, and it's obviously going to increase your average order value if you do a sweet job. So it's pretty much all upside, and it's something that you definitely need to do if you want to get more sales and take home more profit. And another way to get more sales is to pause and think about what you're doing right now, literally.
What am I doing?
So you're watching this video right now because, well, people love to learn from videos, don't they? And if you love learning from videos, little cheeky plug here, we have got some pretty damn good ones all about Amazon FBA on this channel. So if you're new here, hit the subscribe button, click into Honest FBA and just treat yourself to a load of fun learning content about Amazon. But anyway, video has been undeniably proven to boost sales, improve conversions, and decrease product returns. And that's because it gives people a lot more clarity and confidence about what it is that they're buying. So our next conversion tip, that is all about prioritizing video. And there's a lot of ways that you can do great videos, but let's start with this one by Max Herb, who's in the super competitive herbal supplements market. When those guys started adding videos to their products, do you know what happened? They saw a 25% increase in total sales and a 23% decrease in total advertising cost of sales. Jesus, I'd take that. So notice how they do their video. They show the product, they say why it's better than competitors, they show it being used in action so that you can see the size of the bottle and the liquid inside, and then they highlight benefit after benefit after benefit in a really simple way. This is just one example, but there are a load of ways to do great videos. You could do product highlights, influencer reviews, unboxing videos, installation demo videos. Just honestly, there's a lot of ways.
It's just So many options.
And one that we really like because we've seen it works really well and it boosts conversion rates massively is user-generated content. And that's basically where you get customers or influencers or whatever to film themselves using your product just on their iPhone and then upload it to TikTok, Amazon, wherever. It's something that adds great social proof and it's not going to break the bank. One place that we highly recommend that you visit for awesome UGC style videos is Billo. We've left another link in the description below and you can get a discount for that when you try them out. So have a look after this vid. And you can also check places out like Fiverr where you can get a decent product made for between $100 and $300. But like with anything off that site, just make sure that you check the reviews and that the person that you're hiring is actually any good. Oh, and one more thing that's changed that you should really know about is before you had to be brand registered in order to add a video to your product pages, but not anymore. Now, anybody who's been selling on Amazon for more than 3 months, they can add a video too, even if they don't have brand registry. Which, by the way, you should definitely still get so that you can have that A+ content that we just spoke about a moment ago. Now, once you've done everything that we've just talked about, you should start to see those numbers creep up and up and up. But there is still more that you can be doing if you can answer this simple question. What are the biggest shopping days on Amazon? Now, if you answered Prime Days, you're allowed to stick around for this conversion tip. Now, the tip isn't to sell on Prime Day, but Prime Day does hold the clue, and that is sales and pricing. For most products sold on Amazon, consumers are really price sensitive. And those same consumers, they freaking love a deal. The good news is that Amazon offers us sellers different ways to take advantage of just that. They offer things like 7-day deals or best deals, and they offer lightning deals and then coupons that you can add to your listing. Now, I'm not going to get into the details of each of those here, but just know this. Each works a little bit differently, has a little different cost, but they're all super effective. Now, yes, you do have to pay Amazon to run a sale. And this could be anywhere from 60 cents to add a coupon or to have one redeemed, all the way up to $350 for a deal during Prime Week or another period of the year. But they do pay off. Now, if you want to do the math first to make sure that it makes sense for you, by all means do that. But it is definitely an option that is going to boost your conversions for pretty much any product that you can think of. And speaking more generally, you should occasionally revisit your pricing strategy just to make sure that your product is optimally priced versus all of your competitors. Are you positioning yourself as a premium product like these guys are doing? Or are you trying to be the cheapest kid on the block? You need to decide, and you need to make sure that your pricing is aligned to it. Now, in general, trying to be the cheap guy, that's not going to be your best move. But there are times where you do want to keep your price down, especially when you are launching a new product on Amazon. But whatever your approach is, a good rule of thumb, I would say, is to always be priced within 20 to 25% of the top sellers within your niche. So by this point, you've got a bang listing with incredible images and some sexy product videos. And you've also had some feedback from the outside. You look amazing on mobile. You're experimenting with pricing, and your Amazon store, that should already be converting better. But there's one more thing that you can do, and I'm going to tell you what it is through an example, right? So let's just imagine that I have invited you to a party, and don't worry, I'm going to go somewhere with this. Party time! Imagine that I've sent out over 1,000 invitations for a banging party, and it's one where everyone in that place is single, the place is full of drink, food is going to be brought straight to you at the table, and there's going to be lots of single people within the building. And all you have to do is just pay $40 to get in. So sounds pretty good, right? So you get super excited, you order your taxi, you get in, the cash is in your hand, and then the taxi driver drops you off at an old people's home, a nursing home. You get out and you think, right, okay, pretty much everyone is single, but they're nearly all dead and they stink. So you probably get the out of there pretty damn quickly, wouldn't you? Now, as odd as this example sounds, this is what a lot of Amazon sellers are actually doing without even realizing it. They're targeting loads of fancy keywords that are driving a ton of traffic to their listing. But when people are arriving at their listing, they don't find what they actually want. They're not finding what they expect. So they bounce, they go somewhere else to another party, and the conversion rates tank. And this is another huge opportunity that people are missing, which is not optimizing their keywords and their PPC campaigns. See, I told you I was going somewhere with that example. You have to pay attention to the quality of the people that you're bringing to your site, because driving a bunch of traffic from poorly targeted campaigns with people that just aren't interested in buying your product, that doesn't just lower your PPC conversion rate. No. It's a lot worse than that. Now you're spending money on ads that aren't converting. So what that is doing is also dragging down your organic rankings by showing Amazon that people just don't want to buy your product. So for example, if you sell disco balls and you're getting clicks from people that are wanting to buy bulging disco pants, then Amazon is going to see those people clicking onto your listing and bouncing that low conversion rate, and then they're going to hide your sparkling balls from everybody via the search results page. So keep an eye on keywords that are underperforming within your campaigns, and make sure that you are regularly optimizing your PPC campaigns across every single type that you've got, so that you're not wasting clicks on irrelevant keywords, and that you're only bringing people to your page with the keywords that match what you are selling. It is pretty much impossible to overstate the importance of doing good keyword research for both your product listing and for your PPC campaigns. It's actually probably the most important thing that you can master if you want to keep your conversion rate sky high. Now, if you need some help with this, check out some of our live videos that we've recently done on researching products and more, or reach out to us, book a call with Honest FBA. We'll have a chat about how we can help you. And if we think we're a right fit for each other, we'll invite you to join and help you smash it. Anyway, guys, that is it for this video. I'll see you guys next time.